After a convincing win against Clemson and Atlanta to start the season, Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs return to Athens to a hero's welcome. These fans are fired up to have the #1 team in the nation playing home between the hedges. It is Saturday in Athens, and what a beautiful day for football. We welcome you to the SEC on ESPN. The top-ranked Georgia Bulldogs home opener against the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles. Hi, everybody. Alongside Rocky Boyman, I'm Jay Alter. Thank you so much for joining us. So Georgia comes into the season, preseason #1. Well, they looked the part in that second half last week against Clemson. I'm curious, Rocky, when you look at this Georgia team, what impresses you the most?
Well, you know me, Jay. I got to talk about the defense. This was a Bulldog defense that coming into this year, they sent 4 guys to the NFL draft from last year's team, and they just reloaded. They held a top Clemson offense to no touchdowns scored. 27 different Georgia defenders registered a stat, but maybe none more impressive than Malachi Starks. That man right there, that play right there, was one that Kirby Smart said, maybe the most impressive play I've ever seen. That's saying something.
That's high praise from the head coach. Let's check in with Ashley Stroline on the sideline.
Well, Jay and Rocky, when asked about Malachi Starks, Kirby Smart leads with what a great person he is. He says when Malachi came into this program, he was humble, talented, and now in this year, in year 3 with the Bulldogs, he sees Malachi playing with confidence and as the vocal leader of the secondary. Malachi was feeling so good after that interception in week 1. He told Kirby, maybe I'll go to pass you on the all-time interceptions list here at Georgia. Kirby said he told Malachi, look, I was here for 5 years. You're going to be gone soon. I don't think that's going to happen. Kirby finished with 13 interceptions when he played here. Malachi's up to 6 after last week.
We get our first look at Malachi Starks, this dominant Georgia defense that held Clemson to just 3 points going against Jordan Potts and the Tennessee Tech offense. Potts came in last week against Middle Tennessee. They were down 21-0 through 3 touchdowns, looked really good, but now going against the #1 defense in the country. Trying an end around and no room to run. Swarming to the ball. Good to see Jonel Aguero suited up for the Dogs. He missed the Clemson game last week. Saturday in Athens, just getting started. 3rd and 11 here for Tennessee Tech, Rocky.
I think Georgia, one thing from last year to this year, they wanted more pass rush out of that D-line group. I think they're going to cut those guys loose today. Maybe lean less on the blitz. See if those guys can win one-on-one up there.
5 on the line. Jordan Potts, the quarterback for Tennessee Tech, hands it off. The best run of this opening drive, but well short of the first down marker. Needed 11, only got 7. C.J. Allen made the stop for Georgia. Anthony Evans back to receive the punt. Spencer Ashby gets it away cleanly. Evans makes 2-man miss. Here's Anthony Evans showing off the speed. Excellent starting field position after Anthony Evans returns it for 43 yards.
A little bit risky from Anthony Evans there. There was a white jersey right in his face, but you just got the feeling. He said, look, I want to try to cut one loose today. And, you know, not even a ton of great blocking there, but some good reads. And then you see the speed kicking it to the outside, setting up a great return. Well executed.
Outstanding field position for Carson Beck in this Georgia offense. Knocking right on the doorstep of the red zone. Play action. Carson Beck, clean pocket. Dials one to the end zone. It's caught! Touchdown, Georgia! What a start for the #1 team in the nation. You get the 3-and-out stop on defense, the punt return, and then first play, a touchdown.
Let's just make sure he was in here, had the ball secured, Jay. I believe that is a catch, and that is going to stand. Great route there by Bell.
Good to see him available, making his Georgia debut.
And we'll get a chance to talk about ETN, but right now this is Carson Beck's game. The beautiful touch on the corner route, and Georgia up early here in Athens. In danger, so you might see a couple of different ones today.
It's Potts in there now. Play action, in trouble, down he goes! Shot out of a cannon. KJ Bolden, the true freshman from Buford, Georgia.
Jay, shot having a cannon is right. Look at the right of your screen. They're pulling a lineman from the other side to block him, but he just beats him with speed. KJ Bolden, he had a big third down stop on, I believe it was the first play of the game last week. True freshman, just another athletic specimen on that Georgia defense.
A safety who snuck in. Potts didn't see him. 3rd and 14. A pitch. Well defended again. Damon Wilson got there for Georgia.
And then just relaying that call to the offense.
That headset communication, a new rule in college football this year. Let's see what they dialed up on a 3rd and 11. Beck unloads over the middle. It's caught for a Georgia first down. Oscar Delp, the tight end, found a soft space in the secondary.
And this was so impressive about him. He surveys the field, and then when the guy's open, bang, just rips it. No hesitation, no delay, and that ball comes out of his hand, and here they go, some tempo.
Play action, quick hitter. Couple of broken tackles there for Dominic Lovett. Quick feet. Enjoyed our conversation with Lovett, the transfer from Missouri.
Look at the fancy footwork here. And that's a perfectly well-positioned play on the defense, and just a great athletic play. More tempo here.
Beck rolling right, fires quickly. It's another Georgia first down. Picking Tennessee Tech apart in the passing game. Arian Smith on that grab.
And you know, Jay, last week during Clemson, when they increased the tempo, that seemed to be when this offense got into rhythm, and we're seeing that continue here. And there's just something about that when you have a good play, something positive happens, you get right back on the line and let it go again.
Branson Robinson into the backfield for the Bulldogs. Beck dumps it off to Robinson. Inside the 10, trying to churn those legs forward, falls to the 6. Carson Beck's processing speed, so quick.
To me, Jay, that's what sets him apart from virtually every other quarterback in college football. His ability to see it and then just let it go and process that information is special.
Beck surveys, tosses to the end zone, touchdown Georgia. Colby Young, untouched. Carson Beck in Georgia, dominating in the passing game.
Yeah, they really are. We just spread the field. Get
7 passes on that drive to 6 different receivers. Colby Young had the touchdown.
Well, the first touchdown was a deep ball. Then they just started chipping away. Then the nice crossing route to Colby Young. Touchdown last week, touchdown today. Georgia in control.
Play action. Potts swarmed, blown up in the backfield. Christian Miller, the defensive tackle, shot in for the sack.
Just a great job of just swarming. Smile Munden is the guy that leaked through number 2 and caused the quarterback to have to escape out. You see there number 2 with a great job flushing him out, and then Miller getting him to the ground.
8 plays, 3 tackles for loss for this Georgia defense. And they're in pursuit again on a 3rd and 12. Jalen Walker off the edge. Potts diving forward. This will be close to the first down depending where they mark him. Just short. So fourth and a matter of inches right near the 45-yard line. Got nothing to lose if you're Tennessee Tech here.
Go for it. Let's go.
He said it's impossible to watch every SEC game, but he gets sent all the explosive plays and all the 4th and 1s and 3rd and 1s. So he'll get this one cut up, a 4th and 1. Jordan Yates, the wide receiver, takes a snap, hands it off. Trying to turn that corner, get a yard, and he did. Jay Parker, fifth-year senior from Nashville, Tennessee. A creative play here to keep the drive alive.
Only a small part of them, and a lot of them go to Georgia.
2nd and 5, wrapped up. Great pursuit. Tyron Ingram Dawkins, who got the start today in place of Michael Williams, who left the Clemson game and has been ruled out for today.
And you know, Jay, it's not just the depth they have. It's the fact that most of these guys on defense, Glenn Schumann requires that they know a couple positions. You know, so you're playing a hybrid. You might play a D end and then an outside linebacker or an inside linebacker and then go to edge rusher like Jalen Walker does so much. And that just increases, in my opinion, your understanding of not just what you do, but the whole concept of the defense, which allows you just to go fly around out there.
3rd and 6. Potts, pressure coming. Lost the football, just has to fall on it. He saw 4 red jerseys bearing down on him in the backfield, and he lost control.
That's an intimidating sight. I mean, just a little X-stun up front there. You got Raylan Wilson, the linebacker, and then I think that was Munden coming right in behind him, forcing the quarterback, flushing him out. That's how you do it.
You know, it's funny, Rocky. Everyone got a great look at the true freshman running back against Clemson last week, Nate Frazier. 11 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown. He hasn't taken one snap today because Etienne's back in the mix. Here's Etienne, makes a cut. Spun around just shy of the 35-yard line, gain of 10.
Delivering the ball.
And here's Nate Frazier into the backfield.
Go to work, go to work.
Instead, they go to Dominique Lovett. Boy, he's got a motor. That acceleration gets up the field quickly, gain of 11, and another Georgia first down.
Condensed formation here by Georgia.
That goes under center. Hand off Frazier. Breaks a tackle. The Georgia fans so impressed with Frazier's collegiate debut last week. Over 100 yards and a touchdown. His first carry today sends us to the second quarter with the Dogs up 2 touchdowns.
There's quarterbacks all across college football that make great throws, but not many of them do it time and time again the way Carson Beck does.
Here's Nate Frazier, so explosive, absorbs a big hit there. It's incredible. After one game, just his collegiate debut against Clemson, you have people walking around Athens going, he's the next great. And they've seen a lot of good ones come out of this running back room. Beck taking a shot. First incompletion of the day. Arian Smith broke away, and Beck just missed him.
And that's one Beck doesn't miss very often. Post route, they call that the big post, where it comes from one side of the field all the way to the other side. And you can see it. He let that thing go, and he knows, God, could I have that one back? Because that was a surefire touchdown.
There's Branson Robinson, room to run. This running back room has so much depth. We've mentioned Nate Frazier, Trevor Etienne back into the mix after missing last week. And when we asked Kirby Smart, he goes, you know the biggest key to our running backs having success? The 5 offensive linemen that they're running behind.
Well, I don't want to say that you could run behind this line, Jay, and be productive. Maybe not that productive, but yeah, those big boys up front are the ones that get it done. They open up those holes, then you let those special athletes in the backfield do what they do.
4 returning starting offensive linemen. What a weapon that is in the run game as Etienne springs one. Gain of 9. And speaking with Carson Beck, he believes this is the best offensive line in the country in front of him, and he said they're going to win the Joe Moore Award, which goes to the best offensive line unit in the nation.
Very experienced. Only Jared Wilson is the new starter, the center. Again, same thing. All those reps, all those opportunities they've gotten to play against top competition just makes them the best.
Beck wanted to take the snap quickly there. Resets. Play action to Lawson Lucky. Knocked out of bounds just shy of the 10-yard line. Moves to the right hip of Carson Beck. Beck drills it to the end zone, incomplete. Just got the timing a little wrong with Colby Young. He's their red zone threat.
And they hit a back shoulder like you saw right there to Colby Young for a touchdown last week. We tried on the other side of the field this week, and you'll see he just tries to get vertical in the last minute, turn that thing around. Looked like it might have been a little bit of hands by Caldwell Williford, the cornerback there. Didn't allow Young to get them shoulders turned around and get that catch radius.
13th play of the drive. It's a 3rd and 3 inside the 5. Carson Beck trying to punch it in for a 3rd Georgia touchdown today. Rolls right. Surveys. Nobody open. Beck tried to squeeze it in there, and it falls incomplete.
That was a bit of a dangerous throw there by Beck, throwing across his body late. Good coverage on the back end. And he's rolling out, trying to see if somebody can get open. And gets a little pressure, forces him to have to throw that thing quick. It was a nice job by this Tennessee Tech defense. Toby Bolden almost had a pick, too.
Yeah, risky ball there. And Beck stays out as the holder for Peyton Woodring, who was a perfect 2 for 2, including one from 55 last week against Clemson. This one from just 27. Chip shot for the sophomore. And he puts it right through to put the Bulldogs up 17-0. Well, a tall task, no doubt about it, for Tennessee Tech and their head coach, Bobby Wilder. He's back on the sidelines for the first time since 2019. I love that. He told us, hey, got a lot of rounds of golf in from 2020 to 2023, but he was waiting for the right opportunity to get back in. Feels like, obviously not against Georgia, but can have a lot of success there with the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, he did a great job for many years with Old Dominion, kind of put them on the map, and then, like you said, he finds himself out of football for 4 years. I mean, it's a credit to how highly he's respected to hire a coach that's been out of football for 4 years to bring him in. He seemed really excited about building this program, and just like every program with a new coach, Jay brought in a bunch of new guys, trying to find a way to get this thing turned around.
And they've got some famous family that loves this Tennessee Tech football program. That's Falcons rookie quarterback Michael Penix Jr., top 10 pick, right down the road starting his NFL career with Atlanta. And he's here because his younger brother Mekhi is a wide receiver on this Tennessee Tech team. But it's really a Tennessee Tech family. His father, Michael Penix Sr., great running back for this Golden Eagles team, school record 261 rushing yards. And his mother, Takesha, was a track and field star.
It's in the genes, Jay. They're undefeated with Michael and Mekhi. Got some good ones.
Now, it's funny, Rocky, when you're the younger brother of a great quarterback, you're going to end up playing wide receiver, and that's exactly what Mekhi is.
For probably no other reason than Michael's like, hey, get out there, let me throw you some balls and get some practice. And there's Mekhi right there. 6'4", 200 pounds, and just a redshirt freshman, so I'm sure the best football for him is ahead of him.
And this Georgia defense has been relentless. No doubt about who's the best defense in the country to start the season. They showed it against Clemson, holding the Tigers to 3, and they have looked really good today. Running it on 3rd and 10. And Tennessee Tech moves the chains. Kyron Cumby. Georgia was thinking that they were going to throw the ball and a little delayed handoff.
You see Georgia drop out of that box here. Kyron Cumby, wow. Some fancy footwork, making a very good linebacker for Georgia. So silly out there. Great job.
Roberts, the third-string quarterback, has come in, and he's looked the best so far for the Golden Eagles.
And I can't imagine what it's like for Ethan Roberts, because one thing about this Georgia defense, we talked about their depth, we talked about how they play multiple positions, but they have a lot of scheme, Jay. I mean, watching these guys, they're not playing vanilla coverages and playing, cover 2 and cover 3, and that's it. They do a lot of stuff, so that's got to be a nightmare for a quarterback to have to diagnose.
Effective right now. Best drive, not even close. Torrin Baker takes that for 10. Tennessee Tech gets the longest drive they've had in this first half. Trying to keep it alive on a 3rd and 8. Baker trying to turn that corner. Shoved out of bounds. Going to be very close. Aguero trying to keep him short of the sticks.
I think they're going to give him the first down.
Yeah.
Wow.
By a matter of inches. Tennessee Tech keeps the drive alive. 2 third-down pickups on this drive.
Bit of a hold there we saw on the outside on Dan Jackson. An offensive lineman had that hand wrapped around his shoulder pads up around the neck. I think for Tennessee Tech, you got to go for broke here. You might not get this good a field position again in this game.
Take a shot?
Yeah.
Well, they keep it on the ground and up the middle. There's been nothing doing all afternoon long. Ingram Dawkins there to swallow up Baker. First play of the game was a pass attempt, and then 21 straight runs. On this drive, they've been running it a little better. Not that time, though. Georgia swarming to the football. It was Christian Miller that was the first to get there.
And they're doing something interesting. They're getting Gabriel Heck, the offensive lineman, playing slot, coming in motion to try to kick out the Georgia defender, but it is tough to just run and kick out those guys, and those red jerseys just swarm. Trying to get these guys believing. They better believe right here, 3rd and long.
Trying some trickery on the end around. Georgia not fooled. Dan Jackson, the 5th-year senior safety, shot in to make that stop. Beautiful day for football here in Athens. And, the Georgia Bulldogs, they've been playing between the hedges since Sanford Stadium opened in 1929. But this year, the hedges brand new, replanted in the spring. The old hedges had surrounded Dooley Field for 31 years and certainly saw a lot of winning. They did their time. Now some new hedges to keep the golden era of Georgia football rolling here at Athens.
Very cool. Look great.
Do you do your own replanting?
Absolutely
when it comes
not,
to
no.
I mean, that's some effort. Here's Trevor Etienne. A flash. There he goes. Biggest play of the day for Georgia. 45-yard run for Trevor Etienne.
Oh, that's what has folks here in Georgia so excited. We're going to kick a guy out, and then from there, look, that's the thing. You break through the front line, and then he has the speed to kick it to the outside and gain a bunch of yardage.
Cash Jones, the carry here. His first of the day. Upended shy of the 20-yard line. Good enough for a first down, though. Oscar Delp holding that right ankle. Training staff goes over to the junior tight end. Delp walking off under his own power. Good to see. Lawson Lucky moves into tight end on this play. 1st and 10 for Carson Beck of the Georgia offense. Rolling right. Tucks and runs. Beck, some deceptive speed there. Gain of 12.
And you said it, Jay, deceptive speed. I mean, he's not a, quote, running quarterback, but he is dangerous enough. I mean, look, he's 6'4", long legs, has decent speed, and just, again, something, you don't have to be, Lamar Jackson out there, but you got to be just good enough where the defense has to respect it. And Got two stacked wide receivers bottom of the screen. Some sort of route concept coming. Tennessee Tech sloughs off.
Beck rolls right. Surveys the end zone. Throws a dart. Dominique Lovett. Touchdown, Georgia. Lovett just found enough room for Beck to fire it in there for a Georgia score. Asked him what sets Georgia apart, and he said the competition level in practice. Our hardest days are Monday through Friday. You get to Saturday, make plays like this, it's just fun.
And part of it here is Carson Beck. Look at the patience. He didn't just run out of there. He's patient, surveying, and then as soon as Lovett gets a sliver of open area, just puts the ball away from the defender on the outside part of the body of Lovett, and just a good job of Dominic Lovett. You talked to Jay about the competition. That's part of it. You got to fight to get every catch around here because they're not. You may not get another ball thrown to you the whole game. There's so many great wide receivers on this team, so you got to make them count. You got to make your quarterback have confidence in you.
Minute 10 seconds remaining in this first half. Georgia's defense continues to swarm. That pursuit of the football. C.J. Allen was in on that.
Georgia
takes a timeout. Gabe Harris on the stop as well. They swallow up the third down run here. They'll use their final timeout to get the ball back here. Probably 45 seconds will be left when no timeouts when they get the ball back.
Georgia. 30-second timeout.
Not 4. They would have been in the playoff a year ago if it was 12. Beck hit as he throws. Dangerous ball. There's a flag down in the secondary over on that far sideline.
And Beck was hanging in that pocket.
Before the pass, holding number 13 defense. Penalties 10 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
And 55 yards in front of Carson Beck in this Georgia offense. Beck fires. It's caught. Clock will stop because it's a Georgia first down here. 34 seconds remaining. Dylan Bell on the grab.
Good opportunity to see Carson Beck in command of this offense in a 2-minute drill.
He just missed Arian Smith there on a crossing route.
That's his second miss today, and again, it's you don't usually point out misses from quarterbacks unless they usually don't miss much, right? Especially those routes, those deep crossing routes over the middle. He really excels at those. Just happened to miss that one.
25 seconds remaining. Certainly a good opportunity to, if nothing else, get in field goal range here. Beck steps up. That's incomplete again. Dominic Lovett, who just scored the touchdown. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Carson Beck on a 3rd and 10. Pocket collapsing, steps up, down he goes. Good 3rd down stop for Tennessee Tech. Daniel Rickert providing the pressure. Georgia out of timeouts, 4th down.
Go for it here.
Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Now they snap it in time. Wide receivers headed to the end zone. Beck steps up to the end zone. Batted and knocked down, incomplete. A couple of incompletions on that final drive. Kirby Smart talking with his quarterback Carson Beck. Georgia heads into halftime up 24-0.
I don't think Kirby Smart's going to be happy with how that half ended. An opportunity to try to get a 2-minute drill going and get some points. Weren't able to do it. Take a big sack there on 3rd down.
Bulldogs up 24-0. Let's Hear from the Georgia head coach, Kirby Smart, who's down with Ashley.
Well, Coach, your offense able to get off to a fast start today. What do you like about their first half performance?
Well, I like the way we started there. Got in rhythm, did some good things. Got to score touchdowns in the red area and got to execute in situational football at the end there in 2 minutes.
Carson Beck, perfect in the first quarter, connecting with multiple targets to move the ball down the field. What are your takeaways from his performance?
Carson does a good job. We got to be a little more accurate down the field, but he's done a good job getting the ball out of his hand, putting us in the right place.
All right, Coach, thanks.
Thank you.
Well, Kirby Smart's defense pitching a shutout so far, 24 points on offense as we're halfway through here in Athens. Number 1 team in the nation looking like it. To start the 2024 season, Georgia has played 6 quarters. They've allowed 3 points, a shutout here in the home opener at Sanford Stadium. A beautiful day for football, Rocky. Great crowd, and the defense has delivered.
Yeah, it's an image you see most of the day, a bunch of red jerseys in the frame, right? And with Tennessee Tech running the ball, only passing twice that full half, this run defense has had an opportunity to really show what it's worth here. The defensive front is deep, that defensive line, the linebacking core deep, 8 tackles for loss on 27 plays. Glenn Schumann's unit getting it done.
That yard per play, under 2, that'll have Kirby Smart and his defensive staff happy. It's Georgia ready to return here to start the second half. They deferred, decided they wanted the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, and I think this is a drive here to open this half that Carson Beck is going to want to get back in rhythm. Again, just uncharacteristically missed a few throws. I think they give him some easy completions early on, get him back in rhythm, and then let him push the ball down the field a bit.
Good paycheck attached to the root canal as well.
Got to take the good with the bad in life, right?
First play from scrimmage in the second half, and ETN picking up where he left off. That's a gain of 13 for the transfer from Florida. Beck throwing on first down, misses it there. Now, he was in a great rhythm to start the game, completed his first 11 passes, but now he's thrown 4 incompletions in a row, Rocky.
Yeah, I'm not sure that the last time that's ever happened. I mean, again, that's the one thing that really stands out about his game is open receiver ball is right on the money. He's just in a little bit of a funk right now. And, again, I think you just give him a nice, easy completion, let him get back into rhythm a bit.
3rd and 7. Beck tucks and runs, trying to pick it up with his legs. And he does. Needed 7, got 9 to the 50.
Not sure that's a shot you want your quarterback taking right there. Beck's tough. I think it was a good decision to take it off with the run and picks up the first down.
You know, Beck went 13-1 last year for Georgia, and he said walking off the field after that one loss in the SEC championship game, he knew he was coming back. Unfinished business here at Georgia. Pump and go, and he's got Arian Smith wide open. Hits him for a Georgia touchdown. Longest play of the year for this Georgia offense. Busted coverage, and Beck finds Smith for an easy score.
And Beck finally able to get another deep ball off. This coverage for Tennessee Tech has just been sitting back and keeping everything underneath, but it bit on the fake, and then Smith with that speed got behind him, and Beck hit him.
But Carson Beck continuing to deliver, Rocky.
Here's a way to get back on track. Just throw a ball to your guy who runs a 10-1 in the 100. Let him run underneath it for the touchdown. The Dogs up 31-0.
He hit when it mattered.
So, Jay, a lot of offenses, including Georgia, they run a lot of bubble screens at the perimeters. Get the ball to your guy in space. And what it's doing is setting up this. Look, 2 white defenders go right to the corner there to Dylan Bell, and then here comes Arian Smith over the top. That's what teams do. The bubble screen, make you tackle in space, and then the pump fake, and then they go downtown to Arian Smith. That's why those bubble screens, that's why you see them so much. It's setting up that play.
50-yard touchdown is the longest play of the year for Georgia. Jordan Yates lost the football. Who's on the bottom of this pile? Georgia saying they have it. Waiting for the signal, and they do. What a start to this third quarter for the Bulldogs. They connect on a 50-yard touchdown, and then Dan Jackson scoops up the Yates fumble.
Hey, Dan Jackson's all over the place. And then you see a bunch of defenders, and then the ball just gets dropped out.
And nobody punched it out.
Yeah.
Yates just lost it.
That's unfortunate. Ball security. That's an unforced error right there for Bobby Wilder's team.
Sets up a short field for Carson Beck in this Georgia offense.
Look at that. What a great tradition they have here with those gold pads. Make a big play, getting the crowd pumped up. I see you, Dan Jackson.
Fifth-year senior, started on the scout team, has worked his way up. Big-time player now as a veteran in this secondary. Good blocking. 2 flags down, though. Robinson was inside the 5. This could be coming back.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the offense. Holding, number 13, offense, penalties decline. Holding, number 71, offense. Penalties 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay first down.
As Robinson took off, you just saw Tennessee Tech defensively, bodies were flying. A couple of that on 2 holds and 1 clean block there by Bobo. So after the holding call, 1st and 20 for Carson Beck in this Georgia offense. Play action. Beck floats one. Lawson Lucky wide open. And he goes in to score. Another quick strike for Georgia. 5 passing touchdowns today for Carson Beck.
You must have heard me, Jay, say, I wonder if he's going to have the stats to win the Heisman. Ever since, boy, he's been throwing touchdown passes. Hitting Lawson Lucky. Good job, a little play action, rolling to his right. And you got to love the route combination. You get a post, and then Lawson come underneath with the corner route wide open for the touchdown.
Georgia 2 touchdowns in 33 seconds.
Love how they did this. Carson Beck rolls to the right, and then Lawson Lucky back over the top with the corner route, sneaks in the end zone. All dogs here in Athens, 38-0.
Georgia football is known for their passionate fans, while John Cooksey's taken it to a new level. Bulldog fan from birth, his parents Gordon and Francis instilled such a devotion to the Dogs that he attended Georgia, and when he graduated, he joked with his dad that he was never going to miss another game. Well, 428 games later, the streak is intact. It started with Georgia, Florida in 1990, and John's been to every Georgia game, home or away, for more than 3 decades now. There he is next to his wife, Melanie. Never leaves a game early. Same seats for all 200 home games during that streak. Talk about loyal.
I have never heard of such a thing. I mean, you talk about the model, the example of loyalty. My goodness, incredible.
So we went out and found him, tailgating, had a great conversation with him, and he told me the only flaw in this streak is he has not been able to attend a wedding in 34 years on a Saturday in the fall.
Keep going. And one thing, Jay, did he give you the amount on that? That's got a whew.
So this is section 327 and 328. That's where the season tickets are for the home games. This was anniversary photos with Melanie, who you see there. Got in the wedding dress, decided to come to the stadium. They are Georgia through and through. And we were talking with Bulldogs head coach Kirby Smart about John's streak, which began when Kirby was in 7th grade. And he told us that's what makes SEC football special. It's ingrained in the family, passed from generation to generation. So it starts with John's parents, and now he's passing it on to his kids and his grandkids.
Yeah, Kirby said it's just different down here, and I don't think you can get a better example of that kind of streak, that kind of dedication. And you're right, think of the weddings and the other events and vacations they may have missed, but they love their dogs. That is incredible.
I think the big key is Melanie in all this. Is very understanding wife who told me she didn't even grow up a football fan. But once you start dating John, it was a non-negotiable that Georgia football was going to be a part of their life.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a very understanding wife to come to the 428 straight games. Wow.
Ineligible receiver number 4 offense was not on the end of the line of scrimmage and went downfield. Penalties decline. 4th down.
Speaking of the new rules, Gunnar Stockton into the game, so adjusting to them for the first time. That green dot signals the headset communication that he receives before every play. And to go after this drive and be able to watch back these plays in real time is such an advantage, especially for a younger quarterback as you're getting, your first reps of the season here.
And Jay, it's the ability to make instant adjustments. You used to have to go through, maybe you go through a series or two before you figure out what the other team's doing. Now you see what do they do on 3rd down? What do they do on the last 3, 3rd and shorts, right? You see what they're doing. You kind of tweak your game plan a little bit, and it just helps a great coaching staff.
3rd and 4 for Stockton. Fires it right near the first down marker. There's the defensive personnel checking out the iPads over on the Georgia sideline.
And it takes the resources. Obviously, Georgia has a ton of staff, a ton of coaches. This is a well-oiled machine, and it's just a great thing that's only going to help the best get better.
They're going for it on 4th and 1. I don't know why that play was blown dead. I think Stockton still had forward momentum and spun out of it. He would have been gone.
I think they blew it thinking it was just a stopped quarterback sneak, and he squirts out the other side.
Kirby Smart not happy about it. Take another look. He's still churning those legs. He spins out of that quick.
Oh, man.
That should have been a live play.
If I'm Gunnar Stockton, I'm upset because that was a touchdown.
First and 10. It was enough to move the chains on that 4th and 1. Stockton, play action. Steps up. Unloads a deep ball. And it's dropped. Cole Spear and Jamison Wharton just enough to knock it away.
Yeah, ball a little bit underthrown off the play action. And he had a step on the defender and
had to come back for it. It's going back to the iPads, Rocky, the new technology and the new rule in college football. On paper, it's the same advantage for everybody, but it's how you use it. Some teams are going to use it a lot more effectively than others. And Kirby Smart has challenged his staff to try and gain those competitive in-game advantages.
That's exactly what it is. And it's just, the caliber of coaches you have. You have the best coaches in America here at Georgia. So they're going to be able to take a tool and use it better than another coach or coaching staff might be able to do. So, yeah, the rich get richer.
Prolific debut a week ago, more than 100 yards on 12 touches against Clemson. He's been used sparingly so far today. That workload gets reduced when you bring someone like Trevor Etienne into the backfield.
But the thing about depth and especially in the running back room, it's really going to help a team like Georgia now in the era of the 12-team playoff, where there's more games being played, longer season. You need to keep some tread on the tires of these guys, and having that amount of depth in the running back room or wherever is really going to help this team.
Nitro Tuggle, another true freshman with his first catch in a Georgia uniform.
Good teams that don't have good depth, I think, are going to be hurt by the 12-team playoff because it's going to be hard to sustain that. You may have to win 16 games.
Right Back to Robinson. Breaking tackles into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
Touchdown, Georgia.
Number 25 is now number 54.
Branson Robinson,
correction, is 54.
scoring the touchdown there. Coming out of high school, top-rated running back. Also a competitive weightlifter. He deadlifted 720 pounds. And you saw all that size and physicality and strength on that run, Rocky.
Well, if you're a running back, and there's going to be times where there's going to be unblocked guys, you got to break tackles. There's one, there's two, there's three, all the way in the end zone. Incredible balance. And you mentioned it, Jay, the strength from those weightlifting sessions and power lifting, and then just the nimbleness there to stay on his feet. It's great stuff. I couldn't be more impressed. I think you'd be hard up to find a better, more complete running back room in the country than they have right here at Georgia.
3rd and 12. Hand it off to Baker. No room to run there. Ellis Robinson, 5-star, number 1 rated ESPN 300 player of this latest recruiting class in on that tackle. Getting some playing time here with his Bulldogs up 45-0. Stockton goes under center. Second team offense out there for Georgia. Nice hole opening up, running right through it. Chauncey Bowens, another talented freshman tailback.
End of the third quarter.
We head to the 4th quarter in Athens. Awesome atmosphere. First home game of the season between the hedges. And it's been all Dogs, 45-0 after 3. Start of the 4th quarter, and the fans have plenty to scream and shout and cheer about. How about a 5th anniversary meeting? Does here mean in the stadium, Sanford Stadium, or here mean Athens, or I'm not going to get into it. Also,
yeah, I'll leave that one to you to figure out, but that'd be a hell of a story if they met actually in the stadium.
Between the hedges, you'd have to pull a Melanie and John Cooksey and bring your wedding dress and take pictures in your section.
They got a long way to go if they want to meet those guys, though.
Yeah. The fandom is unrivaled, all across the SEC, but especially here in Georgia. It's funny how many couples, I mean, it's a big part of their marriage, Georgia football.
Yeah.
I was talking to Jim and Brenda Kirk. They're celebrating a 40th wedding anniversary today. I mean, it's all about Georgia football.
Football brings people together, right? I mean, what better? Nothing like it.
We just showed a bunch of students in the student section. Get off your phones. You might meet your wife. Flag down here. Think about that. You have to play 3 of the top 6 teams all on the road in the regular season before you even play in a conference championship game or a college football playoff. You're going to have 3 games all on the road against the top 6. Well, Kirby Smart's not looking ahead. He's still focused on the next 7 minutes and 38 seconds. But, Rocky, you and I can look ahead at Georgia next week, Saturday, 7:30 Eastern time on ABC. A trip to Kentucky. Games in Lexington a lot closer than the games against Kentucky that have been played here in Athens.
That's a tough place to play. I've called games in there, and I never played there, but called games there. That's a very rabid fan base, tough place to play. Mark Stoops gets those guys ready.
I'm hearing something that you rode a horse in Lexington once before. Is this true? Can you confirm or deny?
I can confirm that's true.
We got to get the story a little later in this 4th quarter. Familiar face the Georgia fans will remember, the starting quarterback for Kentucky, Brock Vandagriff. 3 years at Georgia, grew up in Athens, went to Prince Avenue right down the road here in Georgia, and it just couldn't get on the field. You had Carson Beck in front of you, Gunnar Stockton in front of you, so transfers to Kentucky. Boom, he wins the starting job.
Well, you imagine Brock will be all kinds of fired up for that contest next week.
I have to imagine the Georgia defenders that he went against the last 3 seasons in practice will be pretty fired up as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing about it. He knows everything about this roster and what certain guys are good at, what they're bad at, and he's going to get that offense pointed in that direction. Try to exploit some things. It's easier said than done, though, against Georgia.
Gets into the backfield again. Been tough sledding all night long for Tennessee Tech. Jordan Thomas with his first career sack.
You can see why Tennessee Tech has elected not to pass much today, because it's just hard for that offensive line to hold up against those big boys up front. Jordan Thomas, freshman, 6'5", 315. Look at those guys all fired up for young Jordan Thomas.
Yeah, the pride of Don Bosco Prep in Hackensack, New Jersey. They send him down south. True freshman getting on the field, making a big play, and now the Golden Eagles punting out of their own end zone. Line drive. Bounces to the 50-yard line. That's where Georgia will take over. Under 6 minutes left of this one. Earlier today, Georgia honored legendary member of the Georgia Athletic Department, Claude Felton. Spent 45 years serving this Georgia Athletic Department, retired in January, honored on the field. And how about this? A brand new press box, and they named it after Claude Felton, deservingly so. I love that picture of Claude and Uga.
And that is so special because, you know, Jay, those sports information directors, that is not an easy job. They do a lot for this university on a daily basis. Don't get near enough credit. And for Georgia to honor him with his name on a part of the press box is absolutely extraordinary. I think it's very, very fitting.
Started in 1979. He might be the only guy in the stadium that's attended more games than John Cooksey, our random fandom, who's attended 428 straight Georgia games. Well-deserved honor by Georgia to recognize all those years of service. Talk about retiring on a high, too. You get those 2 national championships and then get to say sayonara.
That's the way to go out on top.
After the runner was out of bounds, personal foul, late hit, number 16, defense. 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
How many more do you think, well, Kirby Smart's the head coach of Georgia? Rocky, I'm putting you on the spot, but
as long as he's here, I think he's always going to be in that top 3 every single year of a program, a guy that can win it. I mean, he's been there, he's done it. You know, he has the pedigree at Alabama, and of course the standard he's set here. I mean, they're always going to be in it.
And I think what's great news for Georgia fans is the playoff expanding really suits Georgia, because you take a look at the last 7 years, Kirby Smart's team has finished in the top 7 of every final AP poll each of the last 7 years. So for the last 7 years, they'd be in the playoff every year, whereas last year they were left out.
Correct. And then combined with what I was saying earlier about their depth and having a deep team, deep teams, they can go longer and play more games because they can sustain injuries.
And we showed you their schedule earlier, very challenging, those 3 road games against top 6 teams, Alabama, Texas, and Ole Miss. So you can lose 2 of those games and still make the playoff.
And by the way, in my opinion, that's the best part about the new 12-team playoff is in years past, you lose 1 game, it's likely over. You're out of that conversation. I've talked a lot about in 2018, Ohio State had an unbelievable team. They lose a game at Purdue. A couple weeks later, put 62 points on Michigan, had a great team, but were left out of the playoff because that's kind of how it went back then. 12 team, you can lose 2 games, maybe 3, and still find your way in. Just happen to have an off day, it doesn't kill your season.
Now, he mentioned Ladd McConkey, who was just drafted in the NFL as a guy who spent a year on scout team before breaking in, and there's examples up and down the roster. Kirby Smart joked over his coaching career he's had a million of them, where you start off behind on the depth chart, you work your way up, and then your senior season, boom, your time to shine, and you're on to the NFL. That's exactly what he did when he was the defensive coordinator for Nick Saban in Alabama, and he's brought that here to Georgia.
And you made a good point. The NFL scouts don't care when you started playing. It's the quality of your play. You play 1 year, but if you're the best out there and you're fantastic, you're going to go to the NFL. Then you don't have to start as a true freshman.
Stockton decides to tuck and run there.
I think they're certainly, not just in the mix, but in the top of the mix.
Field goal good from 31 for Peyton Woodring. We'll check in on your AP top 10. Georgia obviously at the top, taking care of business. Texas throttling Michigan. Number 5 Notre Dame, Rocky.
We'll
You're
be
Irish
okay.
in trouble.
Don't panic. We'll be all right. Northern Illinois is a tough team. By the way, what he knows about that top 10. All SEC, Big Ten, and Notre Dame. Top 2 conferences in college football. No question. Notre Dame, I thought, with a great win over Texas A&M. Tough environment.
I think the college football playoff is going to follow that suit. I think you're going to have, obviously, your 5 conference champions that get included, but when it comes to the 7 at-large, if you will, I think it's going to be heavy SEC and a few Big Ten teams as well.
And that's kind of the debate is could there be 5 SEC teams or 4 or 5 Big Ten teams in that thing come close of the year? Notre Dame, of course, since they don't belong to a conference, they can't get a first-round bye. Carson Beck, as we just saw right there, thought overall good day. Now, he missed a couple throws that were uncharacteristic of him, but certainly a guy that performed very well today.
The defense trying to hold this shutout. Running room for Tennessee Tech. Biggest play of the day, although might be coming back. There's 2 flags down.
I think it might have been a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
All right, so the shutout in question.
Number 9. Foul zone number 9.
So Kirby Smart, elite head coach, always finds ways to challenge his team. This is the game within the game. Forget that it's 48-0. You got to hold the shutout, which would be the 8th shutout since 2016, the most in FBS.
Well, I can tell you, Jay, as a former defender, there is nothing that excites that defensive room like throwing up a goose egg on the board. So this is something they want to fight, scratch, and claw to try to get here.
But very similar at the end of the first half when the offense went out onto the field. It was 24-0, but in the final 45 seconds, Kirby wanted to see his offense execute, and they didn't. Incomplete pass. They went in 24-0 lead, but it's the points in the game where you can get a live challenge that you simulate every day in practice. There's an injured Georgia defensive lineman.
Yeah, I mean, game experience is everything. You can only do so many things in practice. When it's live, that's when you get the best work. So it's good to get some of these guys some extra work as this game comes to a close here.
Tennessee Tech trying to leave Athens with something on the scoreboard. Big hit there. Back to Aiden Littles. He's taken down in the backfield. Loss of 2.
That's what Georgia needs if they want to secure the shutout. Some negative yardage plays. Tackles for loss. Great job by Cole. That's their 10th TFL of the day. Wow.
Cole, the freshman from Salem, Virginia, his first tackle in a Bulldogs uniform. Another 5-star linebacker coming in. That linebacker room here at Georgia has sent a lot of guys to the NFL. And they've pretty much done it at every single position. Back to Littles and another big hit. It's Kyron Jones again. It's like we could have him mic'd up or something.
Yeah, really. Kyron Jones flying out of that secondary. Nothing a defensive coach likes more when those guys in the secondary, corners, safeties come flying up.
20 seconds left. Are they just going to run this down and kick a field goal?
That would be my guess.
Yeah, I think that's what Bobby Wilder is going to do here.
Second charge timeout, Tennessee Tech. 30-second timeout.
This is Hayden Olson, the senior kicker. He's a Georgia native.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Buford High School here in the state of Georgia. 68% career, long of 54. Will Georgia preserve the shutout, or will Hayden Olson and Tennessee Tech ruin it as time expires?
I have to imagine Georgia's going to come after this thing, right? Sell out. Look
at Kirby Smart.
Just coaching him up as if the SEC championship is on the line right now. I love it.
He only knows one way, and I love that way.
Oh, yeah. Look at this. Here we go. See if they sell out and come get this thing.
Olson, the lefty, to end the shutout. And he does. So Tennessee Tech leads with something, but Georgia a 45-point win. And the Dogs have still not allowed a touchdown through 2 games. Just a field goal allowed to Clemson and a field goal allowed to Tennessee Tech.
Yeah, that's impressive. I don't care who you play. To not give up a touchdown, and with how complex offenses are these days, it's quite a feat for an incredible unit they have here, that Georgia defense.
So Carson Beck, 7 passing touchdowns on the season, 5 today, no interceptions, and he's standing by with Ashley.
Well, Carson, you shared with me ahead of this matchup a goal for the offense was getting off to a fast start. You guys accomplished that today. What allowed you to do so?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you come out, defense comes 3 and out, get a good stop, get a really good punt return, super short field, went ahead and took a shot at the end zone. I'd say that's a pretty fast start. So, no, I thought it was really good. Team overall effort, and then obviously we punched it in the end zone.
You were able to connect with a lot of targets on offense. What did you learn about your team today?
Well, yeah, I mean, you go back all the way to spring football and just learning about our team overall through fall camp, through the summer workouts, just building that chemistry with everyone. I think we have so much talent on the offensive side of the ball, and I think that really showed today.
You have Kentucky next week. What will you look to improve on from today's game as you head into that game next week?
Yeah, I think we'll go back, we'll watch the film. I mean, just off the top of my head without watching film, I just think the consistency of certain things, making sure I'm in the right place with the ball, making the right decisions, and then, we'll move on to next week after we watch the film.
All right, Carson, appreciate the time. Congrats on the win.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Now, Georgia picked up right where they left off last week in Atlanta. They've come home between the hedges to Athens, still haven't allowed a touchdown, and they rolled to a 48-3 victory in the home opener here at Sanford Stadium. Terrific, beautiful day for football. Atmosphere was awesome. Rocky Boyman, Ashley Stroline. I'm Jay Alter saying so long from Athens.